Welcome everyone. I hope we are live. Perfect. We are live. We are rolling. Let's have some viewers rolling in. Then we'll quickly start. Meanwhile, I'll set up the first matchup and the civ bands. Meanwhile, let's just appreciate the beautiful overlay that has been set up by the ESOC team. Special shout out to Joshua. Call your friends. You don't want to miss this match. Let me quickly load up the brackets as well, so we can have some trivia while we wait for the players to start the game. Ooh, what was that sound alert? Looks like we got a big raid. Who do I have to thank for this big raid? Oh wow. Big shout out to Free Food Party raiding with a party of 52 raiders. Yeah, that's more like it. Big King in the chat. Tom is ready to take it all. Indeed. Tom is on fire. Yep. Frontline does seem to be the favorite here. But you know, I think Tom is the underdog here, but definitely the audience's pick. So we have the first matchup already. Let me quickly look at it. Host, don't forget. Easy for tomorrow, not gonna lie. I hope it isn't easy for anyone. I'm very excited to cast this game. This is the first game or the first series in the round of 16 of the ESOC Spring Championships, guys. It is with great pleasure that I get to, cast this game. So tonight it's going to be just me and my intrusive thoughts. So this is going to be a special CGS solo cast for now. Quickly talking about the players. I don't think either of these players need any introduction. So let's start with Look Tom. Look Tom prevailed 4-3 in the closest series of the round of 32 versus none other than Big Shake, who's in the chat. So I think Shake will definitely be rooting for Look Tom, and Look Tom is a Brazilian legend, I think. Very, maybe not the best mechanics, maybe not the best micro, but overall, his civ knowledge, his diversity of civs, and his playstyle is very unique and always fun to watch, man. It's always a treat to watch. And his opponent, none other than Frontline, needs no introduction. I think he was seed number 3 in this tournament. Definitely a favorite. Has made it to, lots of, I think, quarterfinals, semifinals in the previous tournaments. And he's definitely the favorite to win this one. So perfect. We have the first matchup already. Let's start with the civ bans though. Civ bans are always interesting. Do you ban your opponent's strongest civ? Or do you ban a generally very strong civ like an S tier civ? So that's always a nice strategic thing to think about in a best of 7. So I'll quickly update the civ ban. So Frontline has chosen to ban Look Tom's Auto. So we'll not be seeing any Spahi or any FF Bombards, FF Bombards, or even any Kerembesque Revolts. Damn. I really wanted to cast an Ottoman Revolt game this series. And let's see what Look Tom has banned for Frontline. Interesting. So Look Tom has gone with banning none other than arguably one of the strongest civs in the game, Germany. That's a fair ban. I mean, Frontline is a random civ enjoyer. I believe he plays every friggin' civ, man. It's so annoying to deal with opponents, especially when it's a best of 7 or best of 9, who have such diverse civ pools. So I think Luke Tom just went with one of the strongest civs to ban, and it's none other than the notorious Yulan enjoyer German civ. And let me quickly load up the matchup as well. So we have a pretty interesting matchup here. So remember guys, game 1 is blind pick. So Look Tom has gone for Haudenosaunee. So should load up any moment now. Just a second. While Big Frontline has gone for Hausa. Interesting matchup. I don't think I've seen this matchup play too many times. So yeah, will be fun to see what happens here. Yep, so we have Look Tom playing Haudenosaunee and Frontline playing Hausa. The map is Punjab. Interesting. Let me quickly see if the players are ready with the map. All non-ranked matches. Oh, some Mohongpa and Drownage coming up with the, ladder ranks. Drownage saying Frontline is number 4 on the ladder, right? So yeah, definitely, Frontline is, I think, seed number 3 in this tournament, just behind Ezad and King of Osmane. So he's definitely one of the favorites to take it all, or at least go very far forward into this tournament. But you can never count Look Tom out. I think in D especially, there is a lot of upset potential. You can come up with a strategy that no one else has seen. There are so many matchups that haven't been played yet on a competitive level. So, it's easy to sort of come up with some unique strategies and, take the win. Sheikh saying this tournament is a toss-up between Frontline and Kingo. I think there are pretty interesting contenders. There are more contenders. There is definitely Ezad. I think Ezad is playing quite well. And you cannot forget some of the old pros. You got Turk, you got Kevin, you got Robrot. I mean, it's pretty hard to say. But yeah, clearly, Frontline, Ezad and King are the favorites here. Yep, there is a lot of dark horse potential with Turk, Robrot, etc. And some of these older players, you never know how much they are playing, what sort of form they are in. So unless we see the round of 16 getting completed, it's very hard to call, who's in what type of form and then who will prevail. Oh, so finally we see the lobby. Let's get right into game number 1, guys. Without further ado. So it's 0 all. This is game number 1. In the first series of round of 16 of the ESOCTV Championships. And let's go. Sheikh has some interesting predictions going on. I'd like to interview Sheikh later. So yeah, we have here um, Look Tom spawning in the left of the map in the color green, playing Haudenosaunee with this powerful hero, Cara Preta. I think immediately we'll go on to make a trading post. We'll scout with the Mango Grove Rickshaw. We'll scout with the Discovery Trevor, which is, Haudenosaunee is sort of Civ bonus. And we have his opponent, none other than the third seed, the big Frontline, spawning in the color blue on the right side of the map. The map is Punjab. And look at that. Look at that. Look at that map presence. Already going for the cows in the north. He knows exactly where they are. And African civs are cow enjoyers. All these cattle, he can put it on the livestock market. He can trade them for resources gradually when they fatten, or he can just eat them for food. So going for a granary, which sort of gets the hunts close to the this building. Livestock market, which should start with default. Going for the village dogs, which is the hunting dogs equivalent, or the age 1 food upgrade. And we already have a cow contention. Let's see how many cows each player has got yet. So we have 3 water buffaloes already for Frontline. And how many do we have for Look Tom? I think the fact that he went for a TP does mean, he cannot immediately go for those water buffaloes. But yeah, this will be a pretty interesting matchup, I think. Will be played out in H2. Both these seeds are so strong in H2. So Look Tom getting an early shipment because of his trading post. Also got a nice wood treasure. Is currently housed now. Needs to drop a house with this Discovery Trevor. I think we'll see that soon. Let's meanwhile check out their decks. So a deck called Terra by Look Tom. I think that means land. Getting the 3 villagers in. Even has Town Destroyer. Oh man, I used to love this card back on Legacy days. Send these in team games and siege your opponent's FP. Your war chief gets like 300 or 200 siege. It's just crazy. But yeah, I don't see it working in a high level game. But we have a treasure contention here of 100 food. This will be a big swing. 100 food in age 1 means you can age like 20 seconds faster. So Frontline is going back, knows there is no way he can contest this hero and kill these 2 lions. Let's see Frontline's deck also. Land double A. Not sure what the double A means, but seems like a pretty standard deck. I'm not the greatest Hausa player. My Hausa and African civs are level 1 home cities, but looks like a pretty standard deck to me. We'll watch out what he does. He's aging up with the Songhai, which I think is another kind of standard politician. Let's see if what Look Tom is going up with. So Look Tom is aging fast to H2 with the messenger politician. And look at this perfect Grove Rickshaw placement. This gives Frontline so much line of sight. He'll know exactly what Look Tom is aging up with and whether he's putting the Warhead Trevor from the age up forward or is he going for a rush or not. So yeah, I think he will definitely scout this. Look Tom also being pretty smart, trying to dodge this Grove Rickshaw with a little Trevor micro. Getting a nice 70 wood treasure definitely will help the case here. All units are sort of wood heavy, food and wood heavy for Iroquois in H2. Let's see where this Trevor will go. It is marching forward. This also signals to me kind of he could also go for a potential stagecoach play. Let's see. Frontline trying desperately to scout what Look Tom is going. Has his hero positioned in the middle. And look at that. Look at those shift clicks. Knows that the forward warhead should be sort of in the middle of the map. But yeah, he's not able to find it. So what is the first shipment here for Frontline? Putting in an immediate war camp. Going for the Palace of Amina, Palace Wagon and Influence, which will help bolster his mass. Look Tom on the other hand did go for 5 villagers and a sort of forward warhead covering the trading post line, immediately queuing Ayana and sending 4 Kanya horsemen. Oh man, I hate dealing with these 4 Kanya horsemen. Luktom went for a slightly economic start. Finally, Frontline scouting Luktom's forward base. But these 4 Kana can be in your base before the 5-minute mark, and they are so hard to deal with. But looks like Frontline has got the perfect unit counter here. He's going up with the Raiders, and I think could call the potentially the big button as well. So yeah, I think Kanya Ayana combo will. Oh man, Luktom needs to be careful. These could get cleaned, but yeah, the reinforcing Kanya will help. So these raiders cost food and gold. These are basically cavalry with, they are sort of like steppy riders, uh, and they are sort of like a lancer-like cav. They have weaker stats, they cost less, but they have a nice siege attack and a multiplier against light infantry. And look at that palace coming in. It's very hard to push under this palace. 30 bombard attack. Imagine it's like an Agra fort. And look at that, 15 raiders at 6 minutes. And now finally queuing some infantry, which is the notorious Fulani archer. Pretty strong unit. Shoots fast like longbowman, but can actually even kite. Let's see what Luktom is up to. Luktom finally mixing in some tomahawks and going for that delicious kiwi fruit worth 100 food. So that will help him mass a bit. Semi-economic build from Luktom went for 5 villagers, 4 Kana into 600 wood. Will probably add a stable soon. Do we have any stable yet? Doesn't have hunting dogs yet. Does have a market. Maybe forgot that. On 26 villagers now. Trying to poke. Trying to get some raids with the Kanya. And look at that. Frontline's famous defense mode. I think he's the only player that uses defense mode for infantry as well. They then, get into this compact pattern, and yeah, they look really cool. Ooh, nice Kanya raid here. I don't imagine, player of Frontline's caliber losing any villagers, and does manage to catch this Kanya as well. But has now information on, the big raider mass from Frontline. Frontline now also mixing in some javelin riders, which are excellent uh, dragoon type units, cav archer type, anti-cav units. I mean, this composition in H2, I think it's one of the best H2 compositions in the game, honestly. You have solid upgrades, and you have archers, strong archers which shoot pretty fast, have decent multipliers. You have cav archers, you have a decent hand cav unit. So you got a 3-unit composition in the game in H2, which is pretty strong. Luktom, on the other hand, is trying to go for stagecoach. Interesting. So Frontline has chosen the exact right moment to push. His opponent has invested 400 resources into stagecoach. Now kiting with the Fulani archers. Interestingly, Fulani archers outrange Ayana by 1. Ayana have more movement speed though. And more range with this. So I think Ayana will win in a one-on-one fight with the Fulani archers, but I think the Fulani archers have more kiting potential and better multipliers versus, heavy infantry. Oh, actually, I take that back. I take that back. I think, yeah, Ayana only cost 100 food, while Fulani archers cost some wood also. So I think one-on-one, they are better. And look at this amazing pop. 5 tomahawks, 1 batch of Ayana, and 7 more Ayanas from the home city. This is exactly what Luktom needs to sort of hold this pressure from frontline. Warrant provides nice cover. Warrant means that he'll get his reinforcements faster. And Luktom is even going for the 3rd trading post. I imagine he'll be putting these 2 trading posts on wood anytime soon. Look at that. 23 Ayana. No way Frontline can win the infantry battle. Luktom wisely adding some tomahawks for anti-cav. He sees this big raider mass. What is Frontline up to now? What are the reinforcements here? So I think Frontline knows he's on sort of a timer. Hauser does have sort of less economy. He does have some good influence, and he has a couple of cattle alive. So you can't underestimate that. It's not just the will count that matters. It's the influence which he can use to call raiders. It's these cattle which he can sort of trade at the market for resources to get a strong timing in. But yeah, my point is, Frontline knows he's on a timer. Look, Tom is on 3 trading posts at Stagecoach Eco. So I think we'll have the big fight coming in. Look at that drag box micro with the raiders to the front. Nice micro by Look Tom though, bringing the Tomahawk here. Aina sort of focusing the raiders, which I don't really like. Look Tom even sending infantry HP here. Ooh, unfortunately though, this looks like a good fight for Frontline. Look at the sheer number of raider mass. I think just Look Tom doesn't have enough anti-cav. Uh, 5 tomahawks coming in now. This infantry combat will be useless. All his mass has been wiped out. Dominant, dominant fight by Frontline there. Yeah, GG. Game 1 goes to Frontline. Very well played. I think in the middle of the game, it was looking good for Look Tom. He sort of got away with the stagecoach, but unfortunately, he did not have a stable or a corral. He did not have enough anti-cav or any Kanya to sort of body block the raiders. So, I mean, uh, I see what Look Tom was trying to do, but I think he just overmade Ayana. I think Frontline's composition was just way better. 25 raiders, just enough Fulani. He made like 10 Fulani the whole game, just enough to sort of one-shot the anti-cav, which is the Tomahawks, and 4 or 5 Javelin Riders just to, sort of fight versus the 4 initial shipment of Kanya, and if any one batch of Kanya comes in. So yeah, just superior unit composition from Frontline. Chose to push at the moment, just before the stagecoach could pay off, and takes the win. Let's have a quick look at the post-game stats. Yeah, see, look, Tom, he was even slightly ahead in terms of military mass there, but unfortunately, the infantry combat didn't come on time. Just did not have enough tomahawks for the 25 Aina that he made, and just yeah, nothing more to say. GG, game 1. Quick game 1. We expected an sort of an H2 battle here. The, the main fight just was completely one-sided here. So yeah, let's go back. Let's update the score. Let's see what the second matchup is. Let me quickly check the Discord, what the players are up to. I hope the audio is fine, guys. Got some comments last night. I think the game music was perhaps too low, or my voice was sometimes too low. So yeah, let me know if that is there's any issue. So we even have the second game confirmed, and the players are going ahead. So we should be able to dive into that also. Let's have a look at the comments as well. Tom actually looks decent, Mahonk, but I agree. I mean, if it was just instead of 7 INI, it was 6 tomahawks and one more batch of tomahawks, or even adding a second Interesting. I'm looking forward to this matchup. So P2 is, apologies guys, P2 is Haudenosaunee. Let me quickly update that. Yeah, P2 is Haudenosaunee. So yeah, the game has started. Let's see what will happen in game 2. So yeah, on to the next game in this best of 7 series in the round of 16 between Frontline and Look Tom. Look Tom this time deciding to counter Frontline's Haudenosaunee with his Spain. Ooh. I mean, I think these two are, one of the strongest FF civs. Spain definitely has been since the good old Nilla days. And, another civ that has a cracking FF. That is Haudenosaunee. Interesting. And I really love this map. Scandinavia. You have these berries. You get a treasure that makes, these berries gather the same rate as hunts. You have decent resources in base and behind the base. This time, even the trade post line has spawned behind the base. So this is one of the easiest, 2 TP stage goals that you can take and easily defend versus your opponent. And you even have potential for water. I mean, this map has it all. You have so many resources on land. You have water potential on either side. Even if your opponent does contest one side, you can always go on the other side. And this time you even have this map spawning with 2 trading posts behind the base. Ooh, we have a treasure contention here. Look Tom getting 45 wood. Pretty nice. Look Tom went for that early trading post. So this 45 wood will definitely help, get the wood for the house in. So he doesn't get popped and he gets the shipment on time. Using Reynosa, his pet dog, to get the treasure. Ooh, we have hero on hero action here. Uh, the Haudenosaunee hero, obviously Swift Paw, has 100 more HP than the Spanish hero. Ooh, nice micro here. So frontline. Ah, ooh. Oh no, go back, go back. I thought Look Tom was able to save his War Dog Reynosa, but this marauding musketeer got the last shot. And look at this. I don't know, Frontline loves his defend mode. Even now, I think, even with a single unit, it wasn't defend mode. But yeah, let's quickly look at the decks here. Frontline, this time deck is called Pond AA. Hmm. Seems to me like a sort of a H2 deck. Even has full trade. All your current food is exchanged for a greater amount of coin. Have seen lots of full trade shenanigans with a civ like Lakota, but it's the first time I'm seeing it in an Iroquois deck. Has some anti-water cards or to defend his own water. Advanced war huts. Oh, Frontline, have you taken a team deck? This is not a 2v2 where you would carry me. Oh, what happened here? What happened here? I thought Swiftball was winning that battle. I think perhaps. Ooh, look at that. Lovely micro by Frontline. Decided to shoot the Treasure Guardian to deny Look Tom getting 100 XP. That's good micro. I think Look Tom used maybe Town Center Fire to whittle down Swiftball's HP because I think head to head he would have won. So Frontline is aging with the Chief. Pretty standard age up. But what did he decide to do in age 1 though? I'm not sure about this build from Frontline. Maybe he wants to go a bit aggressive. I'm not too sure because usually on water maps, Iroquois either goes for a dock or even on usually land maps, Iroquois usually goes for, trading posts. And especially on this map where you can have easy, 2 TP stagecoach potential. Unfortunately, his hero is dead, so he'll have a hard time, you know, sort of building those trading posts on time. Look Tom, on the other hand, aging up with the governor, pretty standard. Ooh, even he has a water deck. So interestingly, Look Tom does not have capitalism in age 1, which is sort of the meta. You go 3 wills capitalism, especially if the trading post start, because you have so many shipments as Spain. Already sitting on 2.5 shipments. I mean, capitalism could have been easily like 150 coin by now. Look Tom training another war dog to get these flurry of treasures. Macro seems like an FF, sending 700 coins straight away. We'll follow up with 700 wood. Let's have a look at frontline. And yeah, look at those, that quick tomahawk big button coming in. In base warhead though, interesting. In base warhead, but going sort of tomahawk Kanya push. Yeah, first card was for Kanya. Maybe this is some sort of semi FF strategy by frontline. He does not want to just lose his warhead to a quick FF timing by Spain, but still wants to sort of harass his opponent. So that's why he went for this. It's very hard to punish a Spain FF even with the Haudenosaunee rush, especially when the tower is in base. But look at that, already the tower is down 700 HP, trying to raid with the defend mode Kanya horseman. Will he get one villager? Nice macro by Look Tom, but he's getting quite idled. Still gathered enough food to aging up with the adventurer. I think that is 8 bows. Opting for the classic FF build instead of capitalism, going for 3 villagers, 700 coins, 700 wood into 5 villagers. Lot of pressure coming in from frontline. Will Look Tom cancel 5 villagers and maybe send 8 pikes or 7 rods here? Would be interesting to see. Frontline behind this sent 5 villagers. Looks like he doesn't want to make more military. Maybe he'll send crates and age. Not too sure. We'll have to wait and watch. We'll be able to siege this house and sort of, delay the Spanish timing. Even forcing a Minuteman pop from Tom. Nice. Tom really wants to save that house. He is popped. Ooh, look at that crack shot. Nice macro there by frontline. Crack shot on the low HP Minutemen and just using his army to sort of kill them. Excellent macro by frontline. Look, Tom not getting too much value from that Minuteman pop, honestly. But it did buy him time to, gather his crates, pop down a barracks and some houses. He's aging up with the adventurer, so wants to whittle down those Kanya horsemen so he can, use the bows versus the tomahawks. Frontline sort of still massing tomahawks. Ooh, will that villager go down? Ooh, barely. Again, good micro by Tom. Does not have a market or villager HP yet. So it's even harder to sort of, defend versus that. Now the 8 bows coming in. Watch Look Tom's first shipment, queuing in some musketeers. But is desperately popped, putting like 3 villagers on houses. Will it be 5 lancers? Will it be rodelellos? 5 lancer it is. Making musketeers. Aging up with the 8 bows. Does have 20 villagers. Not too bad. 29 villagers for frontline. Now going in. TC fire on Tomahawk. Sorry, on the Kanya horseman. Bows on the Tomahawk. Yeah, decent defense by Look Tom. Frontline behind this has shipped coin and will age up. So the plan was to, sort of force Look Tom to, send these shipments, not be greedy, not get some Spanish gold or a big economy going. But now it's Look Tom's turn to put on some pressure. So Musk, Lancer, and immediately sending 2 Falconets behind this. So yeah, it's now Look Tom's time to put on the pressure on frontline, who is aging. I think Look Tom smells that. He knows that, after the rush, there were not much, big reinforcing patches from frontline. So he senses that frontline must be aging. This is where the defensive warhead and the town center will pay off. Ooh, where are the 5 lancers though? 5 lancers coming from the back with this infantry. I think should be a good trade for Look Tom if he decides to go in. But he might be waiting for his Falconet, but trying to go raid. Look at that pull trick by Frontline. Excellent micro throughout this game. Look Tom also, put his units in stagger mode to dodge the crack shot. Will lose one villager though. Uh, did age up fast to H2, going with the second war hit in base. Interesting. I thought, versus Spain, you want lots of musket riders or the dragoon counterpart of Haudenosaunee, so might want a stable. But I think Frontlines feels safer with two warheads in base to defend, I suppose. Going for Forest Prowlers, one of the best skirmishers in the game. Falconet push coming in from front from Look Tom. It's now his turn to raise some houses. Look Tom behind this, I think has gone for constant military shipments. Yep, one house, long house down. This really hurts for Frontline. Already has 15 villagers on wood to sort of, replenish the housing. Immediately going for the 6 Kanya Horsemen, one of the better shipments in H3. Lots of resource value. I think this shipment alone is worth 1,000 resources. That too, a lot of it is wood. Ooh, if these Kanya pop from the warhead, they'll destroy these cannons. Look Tom wisely going back, but this is just not enough cover. Look at it, one swing and dead. One swing and dead. And big Tomahawk batch coming in. Kanya Horseman will snare. Tomahawk's not elite yet, but this is just too much mass from Frontline here. Beautiful defense there by Frontline. Lovely pop of Kanya Horseman and timing the Tomahawk big button together. War Chief also providing the aura boost. Look at these guys. 27 times 1.75 versus artillery. That's why they just one-shot those falconets. What does Look Tom have behind this? 25 villager eco, 1 barracks. Going for veteran musketeers. Only 8 musketeers left. Does have a solid lancer mass, which will do well unless there are musket riders on the field. But yeah, I do not know about the decision of making musketeers. I mean, even veteran Rodoleros will be better. And Frontline knows that Look Tom is gathering here. He knows that he has gotten a good trade versus the Falconets, so decides to push and poke a bit. He has the superior economy. Now massing Forest Followers has enough anti-cav. The Falconet threat is dealt with. Only thing that is potentially scary is this big batch of Lancers versus this infantry ball of, Iroquois. Finally getting elite Tomahawks now. A nice macro by Frontline, look at that. Not even 200 or 300 resources being floated. Lovely macro by him. Look Tom on the other hand, now going for 1k wood. Not sure this is the shipment you want when you are under so much pressure. Maybe even going for 5 Hussar or 9 rods would be better. But I think we desperately need some skirmishers versus this big ball of elite Tomahawks. 207 HP. Remember, Look Tom doesn't even have Minutemen right now. This trying to go in here and look at these tactics. Elite Forest Follower in stealth mode. Poking and kiting with the Tomahawks. Ooh, yep. I don't think this fight will go well for Look Tom. He's just driving in, putting some musks in melee. Lance is getting good connect with the Forest Prowlers though, but this doesn't look like enough mass for Look Tom. 9 rods coming in. Yeah, I feel like Look Tom should have waited for the 9 rods. But yeah, this is just too much infantry. And the War Chief is still alive, boosting the hit points of all the units. Nice kiting by Frontline. Going for even more Tomahawks behind this. Has a shipment in queue. What does Look Tom have? Okay. And the GG has been called by Look Tom. What a game. What a game. Never doubt Frontline, guys. Initially, I thought, I mean, I wasn't particularly sure what Frontline's build was, what his, uh, strategy was. But yeah, definitely a more experienced player than I am, and showing us the way how to deal with the notorious Spanish FF. I think defensive warhead in base went for like a 15 Tomahawk 4 Kanya push, killed the tower, slowed down Luke Tom's tempo a little bit, killed a couple of houses, dealt with the Minutemen, went back, had a slightly superior economy behind that, and Age was able to successfully and safely age behind that. I think Luke Tom had a nice counter push. I did kill a couple of villagers here, idled frontline a lot, killed a longhouse or two, but I think there was just not enough cover for the falconets. Let's have a look at the unitary pop. See here, look, Thomas ahead with two big shipments, five lancer and the two falconets, but he just didn't have enough cover for the falconets. And look at this beautiful pop by frontline. I think this is where the six Kanya horsemen came together with the tomahawk big button and just completely wiped Look Tom. Look at that. Barely lost like two pop-off units, cleaned the falconets and the musk crossbow mass of Look Tom. And yeah, it was just downhill from there. Uh, look, Frontline had the superior eco. He had the better unit composition. Spain, unfortunately, does not have any skirmisher shipments. And after the Falconet is gone, the power spike is gone as well. But yeah, GG, very well played by Frontline, showing dominance so far in this series. Yeah, let's update the score. Let's see what the third matchup will be. So game number 2 also going to Frontline. So the score is now 2-0 in this best of 7. Game number 2. Let me quickly update the UI. Let's see if players are ready with the third game. So let's have a quick look at the chat. What are the people saying? Forest Paprolos are no longer the best skirmishers in the game, sadly. Oh, interesting. I didn't know they got nerfed. But yeah, certainly one of the more upgradable skirmishers in the game. What else? What else? Howda Hero going Mach 5. Yeah, I think if we had a statistic for, if you had a kill count by every unit in AoE 3, that would be so interesting, because I think that hero alone killed like 10 pop-off units. Tom is actually learning from his enemies, so he can win 4 games in a row. Yeah, that would be some great mind games, man. I hope so. The more games he gets, the better it is. So yeah, we have gotten game 3 matchup as well. Let me quickly update that. So we have Frontlines Japan versus Look Tom's India. So finally we have a classic legacy Asian Dynasties matchup here. Let me quickly update that. Look Tom India and Japanese from Frontline. Yep, I think there is still an overlay problem here. But yeah, it's Look Tom's India versus Frontlines Japan. And let me quickly check out the game lobby. I think they have started already. Spectator mode. Yup, let's dive into game number 3, guys. And the map is Bengal. Interesting, interesting. So one of the non-TP maps in this series, and Lookdown elects to go for India, while Frontline elects to go Japan. So we have Lookdown spawning on the left side of Bengal with the two big boy elephants. I love these heroes, man. I think this is one of the cooler aspects about the Asian civs. Obviously, they have the Wonder Age ups, which are pretty cool. But I love the fact that, India and Japan both start with two heroes. I think Mexico does too, but this is the original stuff. Will help him get these cows in, these water buffaloes in. India and Japan both really benefit from having water buffaloes. So I think that is the name of the game in AH1. We have a water buffalo herding war, sort of. Ooh, but India can't pass by a juicy 70 wood treasure. Japan, on the other hand, going for a nice 75 coin treasure. And look at that. Area of effect damage, double stun. I don't think any other hero in this game would be able to take this treasure this fast. Honestly. Look at that. Taking a 70 wood treasure in like under 10 seconds. But yeah, let's see what the macro is, what the guys did. Interesting. Frontline went for a market start, got the tier 1 food upgrade, does have a couple of cows, went for the market and 2 shrines. I think this is the meta now. The consulate start into Portuguese consulate has sort of fallen out of favor. So yeah, going for 2 shrines and a market. Might even age up with the Tory gates, wonder. We'll have to take a look for that. Look Tommy, while not going for any 10-10 build. I think the 10-10 Agra Fort Sepoy Rush used to be pretty popular, but it got nerfed quite hard. But I still think a mid-map Agra Fort is the way to go, especially on this map. Pop an Agra Fort here, and you have all this map control over the north side and over this side. So yeah, I think we'll have to watch out for the wonders. And look at that. Look, Tom already sending his Hindu villager forward. And I'm actually Indian, if my accent didn't give that away already. So yeah, I'm a little bit biased. I want India to win. I want Look Tom to take at least a couple games so we can have more games in this great series. And ooh, treasure contention here, almost missed it. 100 food, who will get it? Oh, Japan gets it. That's big. That's big. So let's see what Frontline will age up with. Let's quickly check out their decks as well. Land AI. Hmm. Interested to see what AI means. So 2 villagers here. Yup, aging up with the Torii gates, called it. So this is sort of the new Japan meta. Age up with the Torii gates. Send shrine wagons. The good old Shrine Boom, Portuguese Consulate, Heavenly Kami, Cheap Shrine, Mass Sing in H2. I think that meta has been nerfed quite a bit in DE and has fallen out of favor. So this is the new way to play Japan now. Look, Tom just chasing poor Renyo, smashing that elephant head. Look at that. Just stomping while the poor Japanese monks and they just want peace, man. They just want peace. And now they will just go poof, use a smoke bomb ability, and then right to their bases. And we'll go quickly for the 50 coin treasure. But look, Tom, aging up with the Agra Fort. Let's have a look at this deck. Terra, again, a quick, cool land deck. Went for the distributivism, which is the wood trickle. And India's civ advantage is that they get 1 villager with every shipment. So they scale pretty well. I think both these civilizations are very powerful in H2. So we'll see who prevails in a long H2 war. I think it will be like game 1 where you'll have a big fight in H2 that'll probably decide the game. Nice Agra Fort location. I think it'll be too hard to make it there. But look at the fast age from from Frontline, gets a military wagon and a samurai. And look at that, the samurai is on the prowl. He was expecting the Agra to fort to be there. Look, Tom 200 IQ placed it there and was able to save his villager. Could have been a close call, was a close call. And I mean, this is a respectable age of time. 440 is a respectable age of time for India. It's just that Japan just aged so fast. And look at that, 5 Shrine Wagon card coming in immediately. Ashikaru Musketeers in queue. Finally scouts the forward base. Uh, I don't think Looktown has been able to do much scouting, but already knows what's up with the Samurai. Age up bonus to Sepoy. Very powerful Musketeers. Used to be as good or even better than Janissaries, arguably. But look at that. I mean, you gotta love Frontline's hero micro. I think even last game with those pesky crack shot abilities and the pull trick of the heroes, and now using the 16 range to sort of whittle down the Sepoy HP. Look at that. One Sepoy is already on half HP just because of these two heroes. Now the batch of Ashikaru Musketeers coming in the classic Frontline fashion defense mode. Ooh, but big batch of 5 Sepoy here. Sepoy versus Ashigaru, both very powerful musketeers. I think Sepoy have the edge though. But Ashigaru, remember, have 4.5 speed. So Frontline can escape. Poofs, hero number 1. Poofs, hero number 2. Lovely hero micro once again. Ashigaru musketeers will escape. Looktown is on the prowl. Doesn't want to lose any of these villagers to pesky Ashigaru musketeer raids. I mean, Ashigaru raids are just the death sentence. Especially, I remember, those Himalaya or Deccan 3v3s with Japan, and the other guy just nothing but does Ashigaru raids with musketeers. Ooh, nice pull by Look Tom. And look at that, Look Tom taking a page out of Frontline's book of micro and putting his own sepoys in cover mode. This is really funny to watch. This is really hilarious. I hope someone clips that. Defense mode versus defense mode. And look, Tom will be able to sort of, catch these Ashigaru musketeers who will run into cliff in this Bengal map. Will be at least able to kill one low HP Sepoy. Let's see whether Sepoy will, 5 batch of Sepoy will pop coming up from here. And putting even these in melee, man. I take it back. I mean, look, Tom's micro has been on point this game. But reinforcing batch of Ashigaru and hero from Frontline. Look, Tom needs to set a trap with these Sepoys, and he'll definitely come out ahead in this musk on musk contention. 4th smoke bomb of the game, I think. But yeah, these Ashigaru musketeers don't stand a chance versus these Indian Sepoys. And I think he has the British consulate as well. Why do they have 193 HP? Yup, there it is. The British consulate and the reinforcing redcoats. And the hero healing units. Look at these. These two heroes are already 400 HP tanks. And you have a nice mass of like 25 strong musketeers as 720 in the game. Is Frontline adding Yumi? Yes, he does. Shipping 5 Yumis. He knows he's behind in the musketeer war. He needs some light infantry to, sort of roll the ball in his favor. Nice micro, getting one Sepoy down. But these pesky elephants coming in with the snare, putting units in stagger mode. 72 experience points. Already sniped like 3 low HP musketeers. Good godly micro from Frontline here. And even sending 5 Yumis, batching more and more Ashigaru. Very healthy economy. Hasn't been able to shift 4 villagers given all this pressure, but has got a healthy 130 shrine population count. And at least the food upgrades in. So both of these players going quite a bit, I wouldn't say all in, but yeah, definitely prioritizing military versus economy here. And I think this is the way at least it is played on this map. You kind of run out of resources pretty fast on this map. But yeah, another, good thing about being Japan is all these shrines, man. These shrines provide so much line of sight and, you know, Frontline has done a wonderful job spreading all his shrines across the map. So it's impossible to raid Japan at this point. All the economy is at home. You have line of sight, almost a map hack on half the map. Now going Japan consulate for the 5% attack buff, and even making these pesky shinobi no monos. I'm telling you guys already, these will be put in stealth and will go after Look Tom's villagers. If it's one thing that Frontline loves to do, he loves to raid. But yeah, let's focus back on Look Tom and look at that. Look Tom adapting perfectly and making some Gurkhas. Remember, guys, I told you that, you know, Hausa has one of the best H2 compositions in the game, but India is not far behind. India are the only civ, in fact, that can make both skirmishers, dragoons in H2. So we have Look Tom batching Gurkhas, Agra Fort doing annoying 25 damage. I mean, 25 damage does not sound a lot, but it has 3 area of effect. And look at that, whittling down Yumis. Has already killed one Yumi and damaged like 5 of them. So yeah, you can't underestimate this 5k HP Agra Fort in the mid map, which gives you so much map control and presence and vision. Look at that. You know, if Look Tom had chosen to go for Ottoman allies in the consulate, it would be like he would have line of sight till here, honestly. But yeah. Ooh, I really like this. I was about to say, is Look Tom going to age? Why is he, you know, uh, saving up so many resources? It's for these tiger claws. So this is shock infantry, kind of like coyote runners, but they are like a lancer type unit, so they'll do excellent versus the Yumi. Let's see if, you know, any player has added stable. I think Look Tom economy doesn't allow him to add a stable yet. Uh, does have decent market upgrades, tier 2 food upgrade, tier 1 all resource upgrade, and even the coin upgrades. About to get another batch of probably red coats with 400 export. I think that will be go time for him. Uh, on the other hand, Frontline, interestingly, going quite all in now. No 4 villages for him. We have already seen twice sending 5 Yumi each. Hmm. I feel like 5 Ashigaru is a mistake. I mean, Frontline can just go back and sort of, you know, outscale India sort of, and try to send in these beefy unit upgrades. Look at that. 20% stats on your Yumi, 15% attack on Ashigaru, and these units already have such high base stats. So yeah, uh, but yeah, I won't argue with the tactics of Frontline here though. Frontline seeing Look Tom, you know, going for his shrines, so he's trying to sort of do some damage here. But is this the biggest bait? Is he the master baiter here? Going in with the iron claws, uh, uh, going with the flank, Gurkha coming from this side, Red Coaster coming from this side, another batch of Gurkha popping on the right side. But I think this is just too much stuff from India. I think India should come ahead on this battle. Not the best Tiger Claw micro here by Look Tom, I have to say. But this is just too much stuff from India. Look at that. He has like 50 infantry compared to Frontlines like 30 infantry. Oh, big batch of Naginata though. So the first way to to add a stable is Frontline, but you know, Frontline has to retreat towards the north of the map, and Look Tom even calling Minutemen to sort of snare this army. Will lose all these Yumi. These Yumis have nowhere to run. These Ashis might be able to escape though with their fast movement speed. So Look Tom is trying to do exactly that, and lovely camel pop. These swords will wreak havoc on the uh, those leftover Yumis. Frontline trying to raid here, trying to raid with his Ashi, but Look Tom wisely pulling his villagers back, and Frontline. Sorry, Look Tom in a convincing lead for the first time in score as well with that big fight. What is Look Tom up to now? 35 villagers to Look Tom, 37 to Frontline, along with 140 Shrine Pop. So I think Frontline is definitely ahead in economy. So it's, Luktom has the momentum. He has to make something happen. He has to do some economic damage. Japan was forced to send two cherry orchards as well, which sort of slowed down his tempo. And Luktom realizes that 15 Ashigaris are in the base. He's too far to do anything about it, so just goes for the throat. Ooh, but a big Naginata switch here. Does Luktom have enough sepoys to deal with this Naginata's mass? Lots of Gurkhas here on the field, and remember, Naginata are like lancers. They have 44 damage a swing versus these Gurkhas. These Gurkhas will get 3 shotted by Naginatas. Ooh, but with the reinforcing batch of Sepoy, uh, turned out to be an even fight. Looked kinda bad for Luktom at the start, but managed to turn it around. But still, all these Ashigaru Musketeer raids. Yeah, this is looking like GG now. Luktom had to win this fight convincingly, but Frontline has held successfully with the batches of Naginata. Has been able to raid for free, and even sending a Damyo now to buff all his units up. Yeah, and the score tells the story. Does have some Rajputs to sort of body block these Naginatas, but look at that, Frontline being on top of his micro, pulling the Naginata lancers back, shooting with his musketeers. And now look at that, Damyo buffing all the stats. 28 attack on these musketeers, man. That is insane. Continuing to be raid here in the base. I think, yep, Luktom is massively idled, not being able to remass. All this while hasn't been able to add a second military building. Yeah, this is just looking dire for India. All his economy will be soon be exposed. The in-base mine has run out. Will soon lose his FP to this overwhelming mass of frontline. He's behind in eco, he's behind in military, will be behind in map control. Does not have any big shipments left to sort of turn the tide in this battle. Yeah, and look, Tom calls it. Oof, very well played by Frontline. Honestly, I just want to see the military graph, guys. I think Look Tom was ahead mid game. Yep, here Look Tom was slightly ahead. He had sort of better trades with the Sepoys versus Ashigaru. Look at that. Cleaning like 5 Ashigaru for free there. Then we had a big batch of Yumi plus Ashi here. Look, Tom, I think here was the main fight, big fight with the Tiger Claws. And look at that, these trades. I think even these trades went better for Look Tom with the Tiger Claw, with the Red Coat fighting near the Agra fort. But when Look Tom finally decided to push in, he just didn't have enough anti-cav left. I think he bled a lot of support to the Yumis and Ashigaru Musketeers, and Frontline did the perfect cav switch. And uh, just Japan sort of had the better economy all game because Luktom went quite aggressive with the Agra Fort, 5 Sepoy, 4 Savar, and even the Tiger Claw shipment. So he had to make something happen here. He tried, but Frontline had solid defense. And Look Tom not taking those trades as convincingly as he could have, just because of Frontline's micro. Wow, Frontline has 4 shrine instead of 600 wood. Yep, I think that's the new meta. Surely this is on India to pressure Japan, for sure, for sure. I think Luktom did have the perfect timing. Remember, Goodspeed's guide to Japan. There is at the 9 or 10 minute mark, Japan is forced to send 2 cherry orchards, which is almost like a waste of a shipment. And that's the time when most civs have to hit Japan hard in H2 before the economy takes off, before all the strong unit upgrades come in. And look, Tom had this sort of timing going there with the Tiger Claws, but yeah, just couldn't, you know, uh, convert that opportunity. King was saying, look, Tom bombed up now, and yeah, the hope is alive. The hope is alive. Let's keep the look, Tom hype train going, and yeah, we have confirmation that we are in players have started game number 4. So yeah, without further ado, let me load up game 4 real quick. Ooh, so we have an interesting matchup here. Let me quickly update the overlay before we dive into the game. So game number 4 will be played on New England. Another classic vanilla map. You got all the caravel in the pond action. You got a stagecoach trade route in the middle of the map. You got lots of chokes and pathing issues. You have got water. You have got islands. Pretty exciting map, honestly. And the matchup is Luktom's British. Where is British? Yeah, here it is. We have Luktom's British versus. Can you guess Frontline Serve? Can you guess Frontline Serve on this map? It's none other than Mexico. So yeah, again a matchup that I haven't seen too much of, but I again expect some long drawn out H2 fights with a forward hacienda from Mexico most likely. But yeah, let's get into game number 4 without any further delay. So yeah, we have Luktom spawning in the north of the map in the color green, playing British. I think Luktom has decent British. I've seen him play it pretty well. One of the classic legacy serves. A couple of patches ago, they were considered quite OP. SGS serve got nerfed a bit, then again got patched. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about British right now. I think they tend to do very well against, even some of the top servs like Brits tends to do well versus German, Brits do fine versus Ottoman, Brits do fine versus French. But they do struggle with even some of, civs like Russia, which people consider to be sort of a bottom civ in 1v1. Uh, and, some civs like Aztecs, etc. So yeah, it's a mixed bag. I mean, they have good matchups, they have bad matchups. But yeah, let's talk about Frontline. Frontline, spawning in the color red in the south of New England, playing the Mexico. And look at that, lovely scouting with the sheep and the starting cow, and getting a quick 85 food as well. APM on demonstration here by Frontline. Putting a market, putting a house. I think that's the standard Mexico opening. Getting this EXP treasure as well. Mariano Maglanes, the Mexican conquistador in action here. Meanwhile, look Tom, uh, getting a couple of sheep himself. Ooh, rescuing a tomahawk here. It will really help him, sort of scout, because British does only have one starting hero. And look at the hero name, Sir Tom Musketeer. Pretty interesting, pretty interesting. Let's have a look at their decks. I hope we finally get to see a dock in this series, man. I really want to see a dock. Unfortunately, won't see one from Look Tom. Has a pure land deck, with the exception of the two frigates, two caravels and a frigate, which is the norm in New England. I mean, if you're playing New England without these cards, oh man, you're not doing it right. Mexico, on the other hand, getting a quick age up, honestly. I think that's because of the 85 food. Forward Hacienda coming in. One of the best cards in the game, honestly. One Hacienda Wagon and two Settlers. I think one of the strongest Age 1 cards. Maybe after, two Settler Wagons from Germany. These Haciendas do act as a livestock pen also. And they act as a forward shipment point as well. Let's see his deck. I have honestly not much clue about Mexico. I know they have these pesky insurgentes, these spike sort of units, which you can mass pretty hard, pretty cost effective. You have decent skirmishers. Do have less range than normal skirmishers, but you can put them in stealth, I think. So you have Salteador, you have Chinacos. Chinacos is a cav that does well versus other cav as well. And I see the Navajo, which are, stealthy raiding skirmishers. And I remember the show match, I think it was a show match between Julian and Frontline, where Frontline won with Mexico versus Julian's Lakota. Ooh, treasure steal. Do we have a treasure steal here? Wake up, Frontline, wake up. Yup, he does. And look at that. Immediately going for 3 trading postcard and stagecoach. And putting down a barracks. Oh man. This feels like such a strong Mexico map. This feels like, Frontline is playing Lakota with Mexico, if that makes any sense. Look Tom on the other hand, decent mana pop, 40 mana pop, went with 3 villagers. Let's see what his first card will be. Aging up with the governor, which you want, especially in this matchup. Ooh, slightly forward barracks here. Not sure you want that versus Mexico, but maybe, look, Tom knows he has to play a little bit aggressive versus a potential stagecoach play. A lot of villagers on wood though. Finally switching them back. Might start with longwomen or pikes. Does scout everything. Does scout the forward hacienda, the barracks, even the trading post. So beautiful scouting by Look Tom there. What is Frontline up to? Frontline hasn't scouted what British is doing. Look at that. Blind Salteador, blind skirmishers. I mean, imagine if Look Tom was starting cavalry. This could have been a complete wipeout, but scouting the barrels, scouting the tower, will be happy with this choice of Salteadors. And stagecoach already in. 16 villagers, 16 land villagers, and like 15 villagers from stagecoach. So yeah, the Mexican eco is pretty good right now. Even better than the British eco. Oh man. Look Tom starting with pike, adding longbow, even shipping 6 longbowmen. He knows he's on a timer against 4 trading posts. This is Mexico's FP. Needs to make something happen now. I respect that. I totally respect that. Now the question is, what will he be able to do? Because Frontline is just happy sitting on a 4 trading post. Boom. Look at that, capturing the line of sight, scouting the pikemen. Will immediately send the salteadors there, possibly, or maybe try to raid with them. We'll see. I like this by Look Tom going after the northmost trading post. Will take some time for the Salteadors to reach that, to defend that. He can be pesky while he can sort of defend with the longbowmen or use them to poke with the 22 range. 4 extra range compared to the Salteador. Look, Tom, I think had 6 longbowmen here. Yep, there's the 5 longbowmen here. A 6 batch from the home city, another batch of 5 here. Has line of sight. The Salteadora's coming. He has to get back. He has to wait for the batch of this frontline's hero trying to melee Juan Diego Neri del Alfario. I'll not even try to pronounce that again. Has his own Sir Thomas Musketeer there. Longbowmen do win the skirmish of fight, especially with this reinforcing batch, putting Sir Thomas Musketeer in melee, probably saving the pikes, but has to focus the longbowman on the Salteador, which is he's doing now, pulling pikes back. Decent micro by Look Tom so far, making even more longbowmen. Slightly mismacroed though. Would like him to add a stable soon. Our Chinakos coming though from our friend Frontline. No Chinakos though. Reinforcing batch of 5 soldados. These guys are like Imperial Musketeers. Look at those stats. 300 HP, 36 attack. Oh man, these guys hit hard. These guys definitely hit hard. But yeah, uh, nice by Look Tom though, cleaning up one trading post. Might even be able to get a second there. Does have slight military advantage. Making another batch of pikes. I respect that. There could be a Chinako or a Cav switch from frontline. Uh, losing one Soldado or Soldaddy as Leonard likes to call them. Can't trade this infantry versus Longbowmen. And look at that, Look Tom immediately trying to capture the trading post for himself. Look Tom looking good so far in this match. Let's see if he can ride this momentum all the way through. But yeah, slightly mismacroed now. Finally 600 wood coming in. I'd love to see a stable or a second barracks from Look Tom. Do not make the mistake of the India game again. You cannot in a high level game stay on a one military building for like 10 minutes, 12 minutes into the game. But yeah, let's look what Frontline is up to. Going for the notorious calf switch again. Knows he cannot, defend this FP, so goes for a counter raid and will get two villagers for his trouble. Lovely split. Even getting these longbowmen for free. Oh man, oh man. Things are looking so well for Look Tom, but losing two villagers and 5 longbowmen for free really hurts. And now he has the 8 Chanako batch, looking scary. These guys are scary. Lancer type of cavalry will do amazing versus the longbowmen here. He has enough infantry to snipe the pikemen. Look, Tom is overextending, I feel. 20 villagers idle. That's not good. Finally, the stable coming in. But running for his life versus the Chinakos, he knows these batch of 8 damaged pikemen are not enough. Longbowmen unfortunately cannot kite, losing one pike. Saltidor is 4.25 movement speed, faster than the longbow. Chinako snaring. And has Look Tom overstayed his welcome. Pikes in cover mode though. Trying to micro nicely. He knows he can't run. So might as well get full value out of these longbowmen. Picking off Saltidors one by one. Nice double kill on the Soldados. But yeah, this is just too good of a trade for Frontline. And now Frontline will be going to reclaim his own double trading posts, which Look Tom has managed to capture. 23 villagers for Frontline, sending 5. Knows he has taken an army lead. Ooh, interesting. Choosing to go for the kill. Soldado with 32 siege. Throwing grenades, man. Throwing grenades. Look at that. Yeah, I was saying it's pretty interesting that, Frontline going for the FP rather than claiming his trading posts. Maybe he feels confident enough to just push into Look Tom's base and do some lasting damage instead of playing this, long game and, going for the trading post. But Look Tom has managed to get a nice rematch here with 5 Hussars, even getting Minutemen. So this is go time for Look Tom. Ooh, maybe it's Frontline who has overstayed his welcome. He sent all these soldados back, and this suddenly looks like a very good trade for Look Tom. Could this be a comeback from Luktom? Is this what he needed? Soldado's coming back. Luktom desperately needs to go in, do some more damage. That was a good trade, but is it good enough though? Is the point. 28 villagers, 2 trading posts, 31 villagers now. Economy actually in favor of Mexico. Now the Mexican soldados have come back, uh, sending insurgentes. Chinacos do well versus Hussar, remember. Lots of musketeers though. Musketeers put in melee. Nice micro by Luktom. Longbowmen on the soldados. Hussar still alive. This is a very close fight. This is a very close fight. Well, these guys hit hard. 40 damage apiece. And with this reinforcing batch, he will be able to stabilize your front line and has a superior eco. What is Luktom's reinforcing batch is looking like? 1 barracks, 5 musketeers, few hussars. But yeah, not enough, not enough. There was a glimmer of hope for Luktom, but unfortunately, now it's just shrouded by darkness again. This is just too much mass from frontline, and the superior unit composition has the skirmishers alive. Adding Chinacos will kill this barracks, has the superior economy. Nice batch of 5 longbow, but will they be enough here? These Hussar don't do anything to these soldados, man. 75 damage per hit in melee. But longbowmen providing good DPS from the back. Look at these 2 low HP soldados, man. Still a pretty close game, actually. These 2 trading posts are keeping Luktom in the game. I'd love to see a 2 caravel shipment. I'm surprised there hasn't been a 2 caravel shipment. Imagine 2 caravels here, constantly providing cover to the longbowmen, fighting here, sort of denying these guys. Oh, Navajo riflemen from frontline. Apologies, almost missed that. These are tense, very beefy skirmisher type units. Nice micro by frontline. Split firing on the cav. And these soldados just kill everything, man, at this point. Another batch of 5 longbowmen. But, yeah. Okay, good micro by Luktom here. Soldados being put in melee. Villagers trying to tank. Ooh, but a batch of Chinacos coming in. Yeah, will this be the final nail in the coffin for Luktom? These longbowmen are dead. These longbowmen are dead. There are no Minutemen. Finally, 2 caravels coming in on New England. The infamous caravel in the pond. And look at that, changing the home city flag. But is it too little too late? Is it too little too late? 35 villagers, rebuilding the barracks. Frontline, 46 villagers out of nowhere. I think he sent this card. 9 fishing boats and a dock wagon. Such a big eco spike for him with that card. Frontline trying to play. Oh, I want to see the broadsides of the caravels. First boats of the series, but I think just a little too late. Just imagine the barracks here, the outpost here, 2 caravels coming here early would have killed the trading post, would have given him the advantage in the big fights. The longbowmen could have retreated to the wells. Man, just too little too late. Frontline sending in 2 sloops. But I mean, just imagine that outpost plus 2 caravels. That's the way to play New England. But yeah, look at that. Frontline almost has 1.5x score. Look, Tom knows he's on match point. He's on series point. Money is at stake. He'll try his level best to come back. What does he have in queue? More Hussars. But these Chinacos and Soldados, they just wreck Hussars at this point. even sending some of these soldados here. Now the two sloops will also shut down the caravels. Ooh, these sloops actually have area of damage on the range attack. So we'll quickly shut down the caravels. Yeah, this is just looking like a game over from all sides for Luktom. Is there still hope? Is there still hope? Frontline even saving resources to potentially go H3. Frontline is just flexing at this point. He knows he's far ahead. He's just trying to play it patiently, uh, slowly getting all the trading posts back. Keeps massing the 3 unit composition he knows will be so effective versus the British army. Ooh, nice catch here though. Many longbows. Longbowmen go brrr. But do we have enough anti-cav as the Chinako? Villager pull by Luktom. Uh, Pikemen. Looks like a decent hold by Luktom, honestly. Double patching more longbowmen. Standing longbowmen are just, like machine guns. Look at that, just plus 17s, plus 20 flying in. But is this enough? He had just bled too many wills. Brave hold by Luktom. But yeah, has won the battle, but will he win the eventual war? Even more Mexico units pouring in. Big batches of soldados and chinacos versus these helpless longbows caught with their pants open in the field. Trying the best, but alas, these chinacos seal the deal. And GG. Very well played by Frontline here. And takes the win. And with that, takes the first series in the round of 16 in the ESOC Spring Championships 4-2-0. First series by Frontline here and showing utter dominance. Why he is seed number 3, why he is number 4 on the ladder. Very well played. Very well played. So yeah, let's see the chat. What do people have to say? I know Sheikh and King will be disappointed for sure. Too much wood stacked for Frontline. Yeah, I think in between he was slightly mismacroed. GG, well played. 32 seed is not that good for a 2-pop must. Oh, yeah, I agree. I completely agree. It was just that the shooting, sieging animation was just so damn cool with those popping grenades. I thought they'd be do more like 50 seeds, honestly. But yeah, apparently it's more show. It's more bark than bite. Strong civs getting flags makes strong units even stronger. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. USA and Mexico have that inspiring flag ability from the heroes. Totally forgot about that. 10 villager shipment, good shipment. Indeed, indeed. Then we are saying if BO9 looked Tom would win 5 in a row. But yeah, alas. That warship 9.25 speed. I mean, doesn't matter too much in a pond, but yeah, that is insane. That is some insane speed. I don't think even Ottoman boats have that much speed. The Ottoman galleys. But yeah, best Brazilian player at the moment. Let's go, Tom. Yep. But yeah, very well played. I mean, I'd still say, except maybe one game or two games, there were opportunities for Looktom to take the game or have, be in the advantageous position. Even in this game, Frontline made a mistake. After winning the FB war, Frontline sent like 10 soldados to seize the trading post. Looktom had a batch of 5 Hussar, he had Longbowmen. If he had managed to scramble those units and push his advantage, who knows, maybe the tides could have turned. Or, as I keep saying, just, outpost near the pond, barracks near the pond, send the two caravels early, and just, you know, enjoy the free win on New England, honestly. But yeah, uh, very well played by Frontline overall. still enjoyable series to cast, honestly. I mean, I casted couple more series where the games were very one-sided, and it did feel like that 4-0 was completely one-sided, but this game was closer than the score says. But yeah, Frontline taking it 4-2-0. Before we end, let me quickly see the brackets, how the how this sort of stacks up. What does this mean for the bracket? What does this mean for the next series in the quarterfinals? Who will Frontline potentially meet? Let's quickly discuss the brackets, guys. Since this is series one in the round of 16, yep, the overlay looking beautiful as always. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Please donate, like, subscribe, support. It's the community. It's your help, all your coverage, all your donations, all your love, all your support that keeps us going. And yeah, it was a pleasure casting. But yeah, back to the brackets. So brackets looking pretty juicy, honestly. So we'll have King of Osmain versus the Only Boss. We'll have I Am Turk versus Chef Sudist. Again, that will be an interesting series. And Old Pro versus one of the new hot players, Chef Sudist. We'll have Kevin versus Lionheart. I expect that to be very entertaining. We'll have Robrot versus Conqueror. Yeah, and Conqueror looked good. I mean, Conqueror won 4-0, an Old Pro, a Treaty Pro, and a top 20 Supremacy player for sure. We'll have Ezad versus Hawk. Ezad is definitely the favorite, but Hawk won Melanchola 4-0. That was a one-sided series. Hawk looking in pretty good form. Could take a few games of Ezad and maybe even the series. Then we have Grogu versus Dendan. Alvaros versus Dennis. Oh yeah, that should be pretty exciting, and actually one of the closest series. We had Frontline versus Lookdown today, with Frontline taking it in a clean sweep, and Frontline will now face the winner of Lucas versus Soldier. Oh man, even that would be a series to behold. Soldier came out ahead 4-2 versus Easy and will now face Big Lucas in the round of 16. So we have very stacked brackets, guys. Stay tuned for more coming games through this week. And yeah, we'll keep bringing these games to you. Keep watching. And yeah, thank you. Good night. I think we may have another cast tonight. I think, let me just quickly check. We might potentially have a cast tonight. Let me quickly see the Discord scheduling channel. I think someone did say they would cast Lucas versus Soldier, which is scheduled today. If they could cast it live, that'd be so great. Otherwise, we'll bring it to you in form of recorded games in a day or two. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. This was Come Get Some. And yeah, hope you had fun. Can we have a raid going somewhere? Otherwise, I'll have to stop the stream in a couple of minutes. Is the caster Russian or something? Really? Do I sound Russian? I am a proud Indian, and that fact has been made quite clear to me. Like, whenever I started casting, 4 out of 5 comments was, this guy sounds Indian, this guy sounds Indian. So yeah, I think I have a very typical Indian accent when I speak English, so yeah. GG's indeed. GG's indeed. Unfortunately, no raid incoming. So yeah, that is it, guys. I'll log off now. Thanks for tuning in, and yeah, we'll keep you posted for the other incoming series.